call this May 8th, 2024 meeting of the Columbia Borough Historical Architectural Review Board to order. Let's start with a roll call, please.
Board Member Brandt.
Here.
Board Member Barley.
Here.
Board Member Carrigan. Here. Board Member Peter.
Here.
Board Member Mountain.
Here.
Board Member Lutz.
Please stand for a moment of silence, followed by a pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If your board members had a chance to review the minutes from the April 10th Harb meeting, I have a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Second? One second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to new business. This evening we have one application for 401 Walnut Street for solar panels applied to the existing roof. Who's representing you? Would you like to step up to the podium? You're Christopher?
Yes.
Can't see anything on the screen, I guess.
I will try.
Detailed description, existing home in the historic district seeking approval to install roof mount PV solar array with 19 panels, total area of 392 square feet. No structural changes or alterations to be stated. In the note here, is there a structural engineer stamp drawing? I wasn't clear with the description.
Okay, the
A
solar
PE
company,
letter. Okay,
the solar company says they're handling all the paperwork.
okay.
It seemed like that would be a prudent thing for them to do.
Is there anything you'd like to add about your intent, project scope, other than what's in front of us on the application?
That pretty much says it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. Board members have any questions? I have the images here.
Sir, is it correct that these won't be visible from the street?
Yes. Yeah, as long as the trees are there, which I intend on keeping.
It a gabled roof, correct? And
That part of the roof is just a flat. It's not flat. It's a single.
Shed dormer.
Thank you.
okay.
Not dormer, shed.
Yeah.
Shed.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on my phone. I'm looking at
Cable
small.
on the
Here.
front, but we're looking at the
Okay,
back.
but the back is not, okay.
Single slopes from side to.
Okay. I know the other reason I was asking you is, if you read into what the National Park Service recommends is that they not be placed on the front whenever possible. And obviously they're not, so.
Matt has the street view pulled up here, if it can help anybody.
I can envision it.
From ground level, so.
Yep.
Which I thought was very nice. It's in a front of the
Right.
house.
Yeah.
Right next to the road.
Given that, I think it's
Really?
No, not really. I have a comment regarding this issue, but not this particular part of it. It'll come after the vote. It's pretty simple.
We have a motion to approve as proposed.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Can I ask one more question? Where does the panel for these, I don't even know if I'm using the right word.
So the electrical system, in the panel for the whole building?
For the solar array, is it a big thing, or is it an interior, or is it
Yeah, there's a box on that side. It's an inverter.
an inverter?
That will be in the basement,
Basement.
next to the electrical box, and the main comes in and all that stuff.
Okay. Pardon me. That's all.
We have a motion to approve, we have a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I like the painting you've done to your house.
Oh, thank you. Me too.
I just have one comment regarding the solar panels, and I think I know I brought this up before. We're going to be seeing a lot more of these. And it would just seem to make sense to me that we have something in the historic ordinance already dealing with satellite dishes. And perhaps it might be best for the borough and the applicants if we codify regulations, specific regulations, so applicants don't have to go through this step. Actually, staff could review that like you would a satellite dish. Because we're going to be seeing a lot more of these as time goes through, and it just seems it would be more streamlined for those who want to do it. This is just a step that, as you saw, is pretty routine unless we start getting them in bizarre places, which this was not the case. But I think if we would have specific regulations as we do for satellite dishes in the ordinance, it could streamline the process for those who want to get solar panels, because I strongly believe we're going to see more of these as time goes on. Just my thoughts. I mean, that's something we wouldn't do. That would be borough council, but I think it might be something that maybe we should take to borough council as a suggestion and have staff review and come up with specific regulations so we can help the applicants and those who want to put solar panels on their roof streamline the process. So, just my thoughts.
I think that sounds good.
I agree.
So what
How do we make that happen? Do we make a motion to ask staff to research and take the borough council, or for an idea as a suggestion, or?
No, but I can put it on the agenda for Borough Council to,
Should we make a
Discuss.
motion to that effect? So it's memorialized that we are interested in doing that?
cover you, yes. I'm going to say
And I would
yes.
make a motion that we, as the board, recommend the staff make a recommendation to Borough Council that an investigation be made, or the possibility of codifying specific regulations for solar panels on structures in the historic district be investigated and perhaps enacted.
Second,
I'll second it.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Paul, would you like to go over any of the administrative approvals? Anything we need to review there?
I don't think so. They're all within, in kind of what's being replaced, so there hasn't been any issues there.
Okay. Then we are on to any public comments or questions? Step forward.
I emailed Charlie to tell him that you can.
Introduce yourself.
Thank you. Can I give you guys something as well?
Sure.
Is it free?
It is free.
Okay, then we'll take it.
We can keep the paper up as well. So free.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Adriana Atencio. I'm the Executive Director of the Commonweal. We'll be opening up here in Columbia on May 17th. That's when our grand opening and ribbon cutting is. I had sent in a Harb application actually on May 1st without realizing that the due date to get on the agenda was a few days earlier than that, because I went on the Harb website, on the Columbia Borough website, and downloaded the application. And that application was an old application, which I was not aware of because the application was not updated. And as of 9 a.m. this morning, the 2024 app was not on the website, was not on the main Harb website. And at 5 p.m., the application link on the main Harb website showed the historic district map when you clicked on the application. So thankfully now the Harb website is up to date and has the 2024 website. But it should not take a degree in high-level investigation to be able to find really simple forms, in my opinion, because as a person who writes grants, who files applications for all kinds of things, I'm very aware of deadlines and very much so respect deadlines. And as a person who also runs a nonprofit that has to stick very close to the bottom line, being able to open up on time, have inventory, and have a functioning front door that can also really accommodate a security system is a very important thing. So part of the reason why I'm here, Ms. Diffenberger and I had gone back and forth, and as I said, I submitted my application on May 1st. I heard back from Paula on May 6th, 2 days ago, and then yesterday, she said, the process is not as cut and dry as I may think, and information needs to be collected and submitted to the Historic Preservation Board trust to obtain a staff report. I took the liberty today of reaching out to their executive director to see if maybe I could obtain my own report, and thankfully the executive director was kind enough to get back to me with a report herself, which I have included in this packet I gave you, which is granted the old application. But as you can see, she has said that it is a replacement in kind, provided materials are the same, and possibly could be completed with a review at the staff level, since it is not altering the streetscape. I'm asking because of, the website snafu, etc. I've done my due diligence. I've filled out, what was on the website. That, it's May now. It's May of 2024, 5 months in. What was there? The application that was there. I've provided pictures of a very decrepit door that, as you can see, is not very historical at all. And a letter, an email form from the Historic Preservation Trust. I'm asking if we can move this forward so by May 17th we are able to open fully with everything that we need to be the functioning nonprofit that we like to be in Columbia with our programs and our sales and service model.
So the scope of work is replacement of the door and adjacent side lights, right? That's
Yes.
the extent of the proposed work.
That's it.
Is this an image of the new door, or what's this image?
Yes, that's the image of, that's what it'll look like.
Photoshop.
It's photoshopped in. We
With,
wanted
with, with this color?
eventually, we would like to paint it that color, but now I know that apparently you don't control paint. Eventually down the line, we will get to paint. We probably won't even have time to paint next week because we are in the process of finishing up these renovations. But our biggest thing is reframing and getting that door in there. We don't even have the ability to lock it from the outside. Lazy K.
Lazy K.
Mhm.
Does the sign stay? Because I kind of like the sign.
I love the sign. Don is looking to take the sign down or sell the sign, which he will eventually be in front of you to talk about how we can remove that.
I'm sorry, we were looking at your facade. What were you saying?
Don will talk to you at some point about the sign. I have no control over that, but it is one of my favorite features.
I'm going to open up a can of worms again. I brought this up numerous times. Does this project require a building permit, Paula?
I would have to go pull the file on it.
Because if it does not, then it does not activate the ordinance. The ordinance reads any action or activity requiring a building permit or any act or process not requiring a building permit, but is specifically listed in this chapter, meeting the ordinance as a regulated activity. And I know that is not a regulated activity. I brought this up before. I suggested back before, I guess when Sharon was here, that ordinance needed some tweaking. Because I know we've heard cases that if you don't get that triggering section of the ordinance, it doesn't apply. And I question if this applies. It should even be going through historic architectural review.
Wouldn't it trigger because it's facing the street?
And that's not, the first thing in an ordinance is what triggers everything else in the ordinance. And section 130-15, action requiring certificate of appropriateness, is I'll read verbatim, any action requiring a certificate of appropriateness is any activity requiring a building permit or an act or process not requiring a building permit, but specifically listed in this chapter as a regulated activity requiring review by the Historic Architectural Review Board. And they do have specific things listed. Doors are not one of it. One of those things was just recently updated was the signs that's in the zoning ordinance that we're supposed to now be reviewing. I brought this up before. I can't see how, if that is not triggered, how you can make anybody jump through the hoops of getting a Harb review and a Harb certificate of appropriateness if that section is not met. Because if that's not met, nothing applies. And as I said, I brought that up a long time ago, and I don't know whatever happened to it, but the section still remains. The fact that it might be facing or what have you is irrelevant because we haven't triggered the ordinance.
Sure.
I suggested a long time ago that it be building permit or zoning permit, but it never was changed.
So do we therefore declare that it doesn't apply?
That's my opinion. That doesn't apply to us. It didn't require a building permit. The one we just heard, solar panels on a roof, obviously does require a building permit. Will require, I'm very sure, engineered stamp plans because of the weight load on that roof. But the electrical.
Could I take it one step further? If it doesn't need to come before us, does it also then not need to go before council because we're not pushing it forward and there's no building permit? So she could technically then go right ahead and be ready for her opening?
Would this require a zoning permit? Under the zoning, I'm not familiar with the Columbia Borough zoning, so would it require a zoning permit is my question.
Is it business space currently?
It was a dive bar that was shut down for being too divey.
if it was.
Yes.
One question would be, to me, to replace a door requires a permit. I would think, and the other one is his question about zoning. It's a change of use. And so therefore,
That's probably where I was thinking too. You got to change the use of the property.
requires,
Actually,
The business isn't a change of use.
Right.
it's a change of use, trust me.
Well, but
I
it was a bar, now what's it?
Bar, it's not going to be a bar anymore.
You're going to have a different type of occupancy in it. Could also
Right.
trigger a UCC building
That
permit.
triggers zoning because you have to know occupancy, what's the use, all those factors. So that
Good point.
would meet your litmus test.
Does
So-
the borough issue occupancy permits?
Well, the Pennsylvania UCC, one of the reasons you would have to get under the UCC to get a permit would be, other than just your construction demolition, is a change of occupancy or a change of use. And this very well could be. So back to that point, it would then require our review if it's going to require a building permit. I interpret a building permit being something that's required under the Pennsylvania Uniform Construction Code. It's really not clearly defined in the ordinance what a building permit is. That's why I've asked a while back that it be changed building and/or zoning permit to help capture some of those that were not meeting the requirements of the Pennsylvania UCC, but still require the zoning. But yeah, the change of use would more than likely, in my opinion, require a building permit or a UCC permit. Building permit's kind of
I'd agree.
confusing.
I can't speak specifically to zoning, but from a building code, it would be a change from assembly to business.
Yes, exactly.
That would require.
So-
I mean, this is not,
Her changes
that's
would
regardless of
be,
the
But
change
so
of the door.
we've gotten to that point, so now how do we address her urgency that,
Can I just have a door?
it's like,
Yeah.
I wanted to get that out there, but I also understand your urgency, and I think we should be welcoming to new businesses in Columbia. I think it's great that we're getting all this, I mean, it's great. So how do we deal with that as a board?
well,
And
isn't
keeping,
it in kind?
That's what it seems like the Danielle Curling is saying,
What is the opening target?
May 17th. Or were they cutting it?
I mean, I think we can comment on the door.
I don't know, we could make a decision saying that, because there's no,
Well, do we have any concerns?
I have no
don't know that
concerns.
do.
I mean, I saw the work,
But
it
there
looks
were no
nice.
building permits needed for anything that they've done this far. Correct? You didn't change bathrooms, anything,
Well-
no updates. So no one from the borough has been in there and said,
Nobody from the borough has said we needed to do anything.
so I look at it this way. If someone kicked my door in tomorrow, and my door was broken, I would not call the borough. I would call Emily's door player. She can't even lock her door. She's not asking us to put a glass commercial door on. She's trying to put the same door on that if it wasn't for the borough saying that, I mean, they're saying that they don't need a permit for it to change the door. So I don't see where we have any jurisdiction at all over this. And she's just saying that we have any jurisdiction. The borough should be able to decide whether or not.
I would say,
It's a change of use. That has nothing to do with us. We can't decide whether or not that business is expected to allow to be there or not.
the only thing the change of use would do was trigger a building permit under the Uniform Construction Code, which then triggers the Harb ordinance,
If it was-
which we'd have to review.
There's a difference between this building and the Samuel Miller house, which is adjacent to. And if this was a historic door, that'd be a different thing, but
This is
clearly
not.
a
It's
historic.
not a historic door.
So,
It probably was 2.5 foot leaves originally or something.
Yeah. What's in there is not what
But we can't do that.
I don't see an issue.
Do you happen to know the dimensions of the door?
I don't off the top of my head, but it's
Again,
like
that's
a
not-
regular
It's not a
door.
hard comment, but when I'm an architect's hat, I would just caution that confirm accessibility requirements, that if we are potentially,
There is
Well-
another door to the building that has a ramp,
okay,
yes.
okay. That's good. again, I don't think that's really
Not for us, but it's something that you're going to have to deal with.
an aside.
So do we need to have a motion to approve, or is this outside of our jurisdiction?
I don't.
Or can we make a motion that it should be an administrative approval?
Doesn't need any approval at all.
What is, Paula, what are your thinking on this about, I understand, you just got this application not too long ago, and it takes a while to process a building permit application, and I would assume they will require a building permit application for the change of use.
Well, first thing for zoning, it would be a change of use.
Mhm.
So,
I have a hotel sales occupancy permit.
I'm sorry?
I have a hotel sales occupancy permit.
Okay, but we're still changing the use. I will tell you that I'm very caught off guard, so I'm not prepared at all for this.
Don't expect
I
me
have
to-
told her, with emails, I sent her the updated application, told her she could not come before Harb because of the time frame. You know, we treat everybody the same here, and then she shows up here tonight. So I'm not, number one, I'm not very happy right now. I'm being caught off guard. Thousands of questions here coming at me with her pulling this stunt as I'm seeing it. So you guys at this point, listening to what you are saying, there is nothing at this point from what I can see that you guys need to do tonight. But there is a change of use and you will have to talk to the zoning officer.
I can't imagine you probably need a building permit as well, UCC.
Yeah.
For that, because it's going to change the
It's
grouping.
still the-
It's going to change
yes.
the grouping.
Yeah.
But as for your door, I don't think we don't have, first of all, enough information to make an informed decision. I mean, there's information here. But as I said,
Right, but
what triggers the ordinance,
should we not say?
but
that
we can
don't
make a
want
recommendation.
Ruling on this because if she goes before zoning, we don't want them to come back and say, well, you need to pay the proceeding before our, for us to turn around and say, well.
Which is why this
Right, because
should not even be
there's a-
happening
There's a bigger
tonight.
subject than what we're talking about.
Correct.
Yes.
Can we put on record that we do not have any concerns? Or
I
that
think
we do, given certain criteria are met?
We just memorialize that in a minute, saying that we as a board have no concerns with what was presented to us. I mean, just as a citizen of Columbia, I really appreciate new businesses coming to town. I mean, town's revitalizing, and it's not, we have a very good borough council who is putting us in the right direction on many things. We have good leadership, and I don't want to see anything that would turn away businesses from Columbia, but I also understand there is a process. I do this for a living, what she does.
Absolutely.
And when someone comes in with a building permit, I just can't rubber stamp it, It takes sometimes I just spent over a month researching a simple driveway permit because there were so many agreements. I ended up denying it. It can't just be done quickly. There's a lot of issues that go behind this. You have a zoning, you have a UCC building permit that the building code official has to make a determination. And then all that triggers our ordinance, then we have to review it. I understand, I can say from what you're telling me, I understand your frustration. I don't know for a fact what forms are on the website. I don't visit the Columbia Borough website that often.
They are on there. They were not under the Harb, but the forms are on there if you look. Either way, I did email her the information twice. So,
Well, thank you for that, Paula.
Yeah, I mean,
And, for doing this.
yeah, I'm not at all prepared for it because it was not supposed to. I did say to her that she did not get the materials in on time, and I'm black and white. Everybody's the same there's no exceptions. So
I think you heard what we said. We don't see any issues with it, but I believe that any follow-up is going to have to be with the borough staff now, with the zoning and borough. We can't approve that you can put this door up, through as a Harb approval. Only borough council can approve a certificate of appropriateness. We only make a recommendation. So, you heard that we would probably recommend it based on the limited, There's really not a whole lot to it, to be honest with you. I mean, what I see looks appropriate. But there is a process and we're not prepared to make, we don't have fully approved, full application in front of us to make that determination, in my opinion. So I believe your next step is to deal with the borough staff and hopefully you can get your door up by your opening date.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Good luck.
Any other public comments? Questions?
Hello,
You ready?
I'm Tony, this moment, Linda. We had purchased 170 South Fifth Street. Put an application in to change up 20 windows. We did go with the higher end windows and did the 6/6 internal grids, loading, gas probe, flipping windows. I guess I did make a mistake, and I'm kind of new to you guys. I'm kind of learning this thing from you guys. I taken out a bay window on the first floor. And personally, I really didn't like the bay window. It was rotten, it was in a fire, it was dilapidated. So the only other choice is to put a $6,000 window back in there or match the street. On my part, if you have 3 windows up top, you have 2 windows down below on the first floor of the door. And if you have 2 windows up top, you have 1 window down in the door. So I guess I made a decision on my own and I matched the block.
Pardon me, Tony?
Yes, sir.
170 South Fifth Street,
Yes, sir.
blue,
Yes,
the siding.
yes.
Just want to make sure we're looking at the right place.
It was brought to my understanding that, I guess Missy and her husband, before the fire, wanted to change out the bay
In
window.
addition
And
to
I don't know
we
who
already
they asked her, they brought it from the Beaver Council or the Harb, or whatever. And they had told her that she was not allowed to put a bay window back in there, that they wanted 2 windows in it, like I put in it. Whether that's true, whether it's not true, I have no idea. I was just trying to sit there and match the rest of the neighborhood, and that was pleasing. You know, honestly, I wouldn't put a swimming pool on my front sidewalk. It just doesn't belong there.
I'm sorry, where did the pictures come from?
Paul, you said,
So
These are-
I only have 1 copy, if somebody wants
just
to
drop them
have
off,
it.
you can just drop them off, all the scanners to look at.
Would you like our copies?
No,
No, it's okay, I just didn't know where they came from.
I did choose to go with the better quality windows, because I figured since it was in the, historical district, I mean, back in the day, you always had the 6/6 as far as your window panes, so we matched the whole house. Bathroom's got 6/6, kitchen's got 6/6, I would just cut one. I just need to know whether or not I can move forward with putting these 2 windows in down below, or if you're gonna maybe put a bay window in. I bought and paid, I bought and paid for 20 windows, this is the windows that are going in. I just got a call today, I actually have the windows, and I'm supposed to pick them up tomorrow, but I need to know some type of a direction, what I may or what I may not be able to do.
So what does your permit say?
I got approval for the windows. The thing is on my behalf, my mistake was, we went into the house was on fire, and when they left pretty much basically the clothes in the back. So this thing was a fully furnished home, set for 3 years, with all the plaster, debris, everything on top, so it was wet. So I took probably at least 15 dual axle trailer loads of trash out there. So it took me 2 weeks just to empty it, and then we gutted it completely. So I'm just asking for a little bit of help here. I mean, this isn't like a landlord thing. I'm trying to get my kids to leave this place.
Is it a formal application that we can?
So what does your permit say?
Hold on.
Well, we got approved for the windows
We got approved for all of the windows.
that we submitted,
Originally through Harb,
but
put in Harb application.
my change took place before I submitted. So it wasn't really an issue until after I got approval. I don't know.
something we approved in
When
the
was
past?
it?
I
No.
don't remember this.
No,
I'm not as
Okay.
sure exactly how this goes, what, if you can help me out for me.
sure. Let me just give you what I do know. So they did put a application in March 25th, a Harb application, at which time, I'm assuming them not knowing, when they put the application in was after they took the bay window out. Okay? So when they're submitting the Harb application, they are putting in for all new windows without whatever for the bay window. Okay? So that was number one, and I did speak with them about that they should have done the application before they ever touched the bay window. So that was the first thing. The second thing, they are on the side of the house. They have extended, and these are the concerns that have come up. They have extended the side roof because my understanding is whatever you can see from the street, straight on when you're looking at the address part of it. So the side roof, initially you could see very little of. When I went out
Extended it 12 feet.
a week or so ago and checked it out again, the roof was extended to the back of the property, but also towards the front of the property that you can see a little bit more. So our issue is the bay window. And when you're looking from a Harb perspective, and the extension of the side roof coming towards the front of the house. They were given a permit to extend the back, put a second floor on and that sort of thing. That the zoning officer did issue a permit for. So the problem is, I guess, for him, that they're in process of trying to get this done. Again, this was, my understanding was going to go on next month's Harb meeting.
And I did have no communication. Donna said it was the last Thursday of this month. And I didn't even know nothing about this paper that you have to be listed on there for. And then I just caught wind that you guys were having a meeting tonight, and I just didn't want to miss it. And then said, oh, you're in this job too, then I gotta wait, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then, whatever. Just try to be the early bird here, catch the worm. Again, I personally, I think this is going to probably be one of the nicest houses on the block. I mean, I got other pictures of the renovations on my phone. I didn't do any of that because I really didn't think it was pertinent, but I mean, I'll be more than happy to show you. This is a really nice project. This is a really nice project. I mean, we didn't shortcut on anything. We went and completely sheeted the whole outside. We went completely sheeted all new roofs. We put 50-year Titan hurricane rated 165 mile winds. Put first go 06 30-year rubber. There's brand new roofs on the whole place. We went in and reframed out all the window boxes, were treated, and like hard this one.
So where does the roof stick out now? It's wider than.
No, it's not wider, and I didn't make it longer in the back. What I did was I made it 12 feet longer in the front, towards the front curve. It's the actual size plus 12 feet in the front. I'll show
Same
you.
width, left to right.
Same width, it's just longer in the
Just
front.
come closer to the street.
Yes, sir.
Like more overhead.
All right, so right here it is.
Correct.
That's
What is the side bump out thing?
So
Okay.
it's not longer, it's not deeper to the alley. It's not wider,
Yeah.
but it's 12 feet longer to the front street on Fish Street.
That sandwich is a nice touch.
It's nice, right? So, the purpose of putting the sunburst in there was, if I got permission to do that, then I would match it with bricks and all that. That was like that.
The other concern is that that back thing is clearly visible from Fifth Street and it is higher than
What's that mean?
It's visible from Fifth Street, which is the address street, and it's higher than the house, so it would be street facing.
So that's another issue?
So what is higher?
Is that a third
The
issue?
back roof.
That is not higher than a front.
It depends on how you read the ordinance.
Because listen, I will go up there and I will put
But-
I will put a string line from roof tip to roof tip and put a line level on there.
So I'm just telling you the
Can I-
concerns that were brought to
Is
me.
this
Yeah,
something
that's
we can
okay.
officially vote on without a formal application? Is this coming back next month? Is that for us to decide?
It's for you to decide at this point. I mean, I have the information here. When I seen them sitting back there, I did go pull their file, because I had that handy.
There's a 14 by 22 storage addition that I got.
On the back, so it drops down, and then it gets back up.
There's a full basement, like a walk up underneath it, and then it has a full kitchen and a full master bedroom.
So-
But it's permitted.
It's not like that.
Yes, yes.
I'm confused. Why
I'm
is it
confused,
permitted?
Are there architectural drawings somewhere for a two-story structure?
I'm gonna pass
How did
this.
it-
Yes, I did. I submitted footer,
that-
block walls, tennis block, tennis block on top, two first floor, floor grade level, and then start.
Any elevation
I
drawings showing
submitted
the
that.
prototype, scale drawing?
Okay, so who's the permit officer?
That was shown in a drawing.
Josh, who's Josh?
CCIS, Commonwealth Code.
Okay.
Huh?
They're the inspectors. Do we have a BCO in the borough in-house, or do they do the BCO work as well?
We do have two BCOs,
So-
myself
Okay, so
and
we do.
Matt.
we-
However,
they do the
Josh is
inspection.
Josh is our,
They do the
is the one,
inspections.
yes,
Okay.
for the building
So
and
you still worry
other.
about CCO.
I mean, the big thing is you guys will get taxed.
So,
and all the utilities are
This
on.
probably should have had Harb checked off as well, since it's an historic district, and there was an
Again,
addition, but it didn't really
What's
talk anything about the windows. Suite two?
well, again, the bay window, which is one of the main
Mhm.
deals here,
Yeah, it is.
was removed before we even got an application.
Okay.
And I
That was
did
my
talk,
mis- That was totally my mistake.
Right,
I hold
right.
that.
Well, I do have a question about that. And this is, I don't know the answer. I'm not
Okay.
trying to say I do. That bed, to me, does not look original.
I don't
No,
know.
right, no,
Yeah,
No, what I did was I
originally,
did.
Originally,
it
back
would
there.
have
I
had two
I did the
windows.
first
I would venture to say-
window
Yeah,
that was sold.
That's
color.
so
I
it went
sold
back to
67.
historic.
I don't have any
Yeah, what you
concern
put on
with
is more correct than the
Yeah.
house. I mean, I understand that we would all agree that the front is right, but I don't see how we could have anything to say about the addition and the side, because this has already been built, so we couldn't really approve it, and we can't override.
Well, I do
That's
have
a
one.
different section of zoning. We're only supposed to talk about Harb and what it means for the historical district.
Mhm.
I can see us agreeing about the window and saying where our stance on the window, but the other thing, that's not anything that we really.
Can I add something, sir?
The mistake was that, from my perspective, is that it should have come to us before it was even approved. And that is on the borough for not bringing it to us, I think.
But I could see them looking at it saying this is not a street view. I mean, this is where this gets confusing. I wouldn't want to be in the borough, to be honest with you. Because if you look at the front, you're considering Harb talks about the front, but the back, it doesn't. It's just like
Right.
solar panels earlier. It's not on the front view, so we were all like, well, that's great, maybe we should
Right.
allow them to do it.
Right.
If he wants to get a building permit to build it back, and it had a fire, and they're trying to rebuild the house. So,
Can I ask one more question? Sure. I mean, do I need to get permission to change that front door to have the thing split down the sides and kicked in, it's been screwed and.
I
It's
would
just,
say
it's
that I
just
get
the
approval.
door, what I wanted to do is I wanted to put fire with this,
The process is that you submit your application, staff reviews it, If they determine it's in kind or what have you, and it's appropriate for staff review, it doesn't have to come to us. If they make the determination that, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, I'd like this to go in front of Harb, then it gets forwarded to us. So your first step is to Paul or whoever, I'm guessing Paul, I don't know,
Donna,
hierarchy here.
whoever.
But that would be I don't think we can make a determination right here, right now, because they have to review the application and anything that goes with it before they can make a determination whether a staff review is appropriate or if it comes before us.
Again,
Why-
I can tell you that Donna did approve the permit because it was at the rear of the property. And if you are facing the house, you do not see that, okay? Where Harb comes into play in my mind was the whole bay window thing.
Mhm.
Who made the recommendation for them to be here tonight, or?
I didn't know they
Nobody
were,
did. I just
yeah,
noticed
I
when
didn't
went
know
in,
they
these
were,
guys were having a hard meeting. We were
Yeah.
under the understanding that it was the last Thursday of this month.
And we didn't know that you actually, paid for.
Yeah, I didn't know that you guys scheduled.
Yeah, right. I didn't know if somebody noticed.
I
the window was different and
anticipated
said
them
you
to be
better-
here next
No,
month.
so I'm learning. I'm learning right now, so.
So do we make a motion and approve the windows so he can put his windows in?
Not having, I gotta call it.
I don't think they have any concerns with the windows on the front facade.
But if we would make a motion that we're fine with that, then he work the rest of his building permit out with the borough.
Yeah, I don't.
Because that is not affecting us.
Comment on this.
Actually, I do have one more question.
You guys don't have a certificate of appropriateness on your agenda, so at that point, it's not gonna be able to make it to me to approve a certificate of appropriateness,
Mhm.
because you don't have one to approve, to recommend approval.
Oh, okay.
So the best we can really do is an off the record.
Mhm.
We don't think you have anything to worry about. Comment? Am I right?
Now, now, I do have one thing, so since I added 12 feet longer on that little side deal, like, is that gonna be added to my square footage to the house, and detached one, or how do you guys do it?
Not something that I can comment on.
No idea.
I don't know the answer to that question.
Like, so that's something we're
That's
gonna.
outside of
That's
our
a borough
wheelhouse.
I
question.
didn't hear the question, sorry.
Oh, I just wanted to know, because I added 12 feet over that side. towards the-
Yeah, that's a tax.
Is that just get added on to the taxable living space, or down, like, where we go?
That I will have to check with Donna on.
Something for windows?
Well, I think from our perspective, we don't have any concerns with the front facade window alterations.
But that's
Opposed.
not an
Whether or
approval.
not- Whether or not.
No,
they're-
But he has a
Yeah.
permit.
I permits for it,
And I don't even feel
Whether
comfortable
borough's
saying that, 'cause
council-
we haven't had time to really, I mean, when I get one of these, I take time, look at the historic, I do, all that information Paula just shared tonight is online, and I go to that every time. And I look, okay, here's what they're recommending, here's what we should be thinking about, what we shouldn't be thinking about.
I mean, realistically.
And to make a
speaking,
snap
I mean,
decision
moral of the
without
story
having
is,
time to do that.
Our two children are getting raped from, from, two other landlords. One's paying 1,800, the other one's paying 1,600. We're just trying to get our kids in there. And that'll work. You know, just that cheaper. I have a cheaper rate.
Thank you, sir.
I thank you guys for allowing us to put this before you tonight.
So they will be required to submit
For the
a
door.
formal application.
Correct.
For the window door.
And the windows were formal.
Well, the windows are already
Oh, okay.
approved, yes. They're in yeah, they haven't changed other than what,
Borough was officially.
You need a picture of what we might get back in with.
I'm sorry,
You need pictures of what we might get back in with.
is that what you gave me?
No.
Just when I,
We're gonna do that
Okay.
tomorrow. We're gonna get.
okay, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions?
Nope. Let me know if you need any good work. I'm the best contractor in town.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Ladies.
Any other business?
I would mention this public meeting does concern the Harb. It's at Columbia Crossing River Trail Center. It's May 16th at 6:30 p.m. The Borough of Columbia is starting work on completing a comprehensive update and digitization of the inventory of over 1,500 buildings within the borough's federally designated historic district. This work will consist of a field survey conducted by driving, walking, and collection of digital records. This is an informational meeting. They want to gather information. The meeting's intended to be both informative and engaging with maps, photos, questions, and answers. We hope to see you at the event. 6:30, May 16th.
Motion to adjourn,
So moved.
second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Who was the second? Thank you.